Eric lies. Having been abandoned in the forest as a baby, he survived by joining with the very essence of nature. He's been fighting in the war against humans every day for 120 years, even rumored to have slain 200,000 in 1 week. He is always working, ever watching, forever protecting.
My name is Beloric Morgamash, but you've probably heard of me. I'm a half-orc from the north, but I've been in Alarians for most of my adulthood. You'll know my tales, of course. Warbreaker and the Siren's Curse. Or if those are unfamiliar to you, surely you can't have missed the King's public addresses, penned by yours truly. Be sure to keep an ear out for me, and you know where I am if you hear anything interesting. I'm certainly interested.
I am Ivar, formerly the commander of the Bastion's forces. Now, I seek a way to redeem the loss of the Great Wall, and to return my family to its honourable position once more. For money, influence or power, I will do whatever it takes, and earn my name back.
Ivelios Oakenheel is a half-elven gentleman and sea dog who graduated the Imperial Academy as an alchemist in his young days. And though he is most well known as the daring...
Welcome back everyone to week number 3 of Legends of Aleria. That's your cue to be able to speak. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Yay! Lovely. I don't think there's any announcements this week, apart from the fact, as you can see down there. I've removed the ad because we found a 6th person. They'll be coming in at some point, and I believe Michael's got to dip halfway through the session today, but it's fine. He'll just miss the fun part in the combat. It's all good. Anyway, as a little recap, last week you guys settled down in a lovely, beautiful hotel known as the Golden Swan. It was lush. You had your own private butlers. You had pretty much every amenity you could think of.
We had hot water.
You had hot water from taps. Really crazy inventions. You've never seen these before. And one of the Red Guard came over, had a chat with you. The Queen gave you some information, and you have decided to invade the Far Reach Estate, looking for a map that will take you to the Black Cell. So I believe currently, where we are, Beloric and Janice, you are currently outside, I believe.
Yes.
You're currently outside.
The door.
You're about to you've literally just knocked on the door, and the other three people, Ivar's a spider, and everyone else is invisible.
I have 6 more legs than I wanted to have.
Nice.
So we literally, as we just finished off, Janice, you had just smashed on the door as hard as you could. You left a few scratches, but you could definitely have done a bit more damage if you tried harder. But you left a few scratches on the door. Now everyone else, you're currently situated inside what you think might be kind of like the servants' quarters of this manor. You all just stood in this room, invisible, and all of a sudden, you guys in this room, you hear a large knock, presumably on the front door. You're guessing it's probably Janice and Belle, as that's what they've just agreed to go and do. And as you see this, you've been sat in this room hearing the scuffling of someone tidying in the room through the doorway. And as you hear this, you hear kind of like a huh? And then some footsteps walking out of the room adjacent to you. A door opening, a door closing, and some more footsteps walking down towards the main door. So I'll just say what you guys do. And then we'll be going back and forth quite quickly, I think. So what are the people in the house doing?
Well, I'm doing spider things. Yeah.
I've also been a web.
I'm trapped in hands.
Yes.
Okay. It sounds like the room adjacent is empty now, right?
Yeah, you just heard someone leave that room.
Okay. I'm gonna crack the door and take a look. Cracking it with my elbow because I'm still holding Ivar.
Yeah, okay, so as you push the door slightly open, you kind of see through the crack. The door opens on the right, so you kind of sneak it open, and you see that right in front of you is another door. And as you swing it further open, it opens to reveal a large, like, sitting room. There's two lavish sofas made of like a gold and brass wrapping around them that are kind of situated opposite of a large fire built into the wall. There's a table across one of the walls, and there's a little corner over in the far side of the room that's got two large, puffy red chairs, just loads of cushions on them, that are situated in front of a large bookcase that's filled with books across that side of the wall. And that's what's in this room.
Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Books. Okay. Just gonna take a quick look around. Open hands up. Actually, can Ivar, if you're being held through my invisible hands, can you still see?
Yes.
In which case, I don't need to open my hands up to. So Ivar can take a look. It's like hands like that. It's a little cage.
With my
Lovely.
spider senses.
Yep. I don't know how well spiders can actually see, but
I'm gonna find out.
You'll need the stat block of a spider up, I believe, if you're going to be using it. If you can just get one up. So yeah, what are you doing? You crack the door open.
I mean, bookcase. I'm just gonna take a look, see what's on there.
Okay, so you walk over to the bookcase. Meanwhile, the two people outside, you've just knocked, Janice. You're kind of stood there like a little bit awkwardly waiting for the door to open. You hear a door open inside the house, and then some footsteps pace towards the doorway. And you hear like kind of a lock and a latch and some metal swings, and a small circular peephole slides open in the doorway, and you can see someone's eye peering through. And you hear someone shout, "What are you doing? Why are you coming at this time of night? Who are you? What do you want?"
Is it Farreach or is it someone else?
It's just an eye looking through the door. It doesn't sound like Farreach's voice.
Okay. Okay. I'm dreadfully sorry for intruding at such a late hour.
As you should be. As you should be.
I was hoping that we might be able to speak with Farreach. Friends, you know.
What's your name? Do you have an appointment?
No appointment, but I'm sure he'd want to talk to us. My name is Beleric Morgamash.
Oh. Oh, right. Okay.
If you could hurry up and get him, that would be incredibly kind of you.
Yes. He's luckily still awake. I will go and get him. So you guys all hear this kind of like muffledly coming through the doorway to your right. As soon as you entered this living room, you heard this conversation through the doorway into your right. Presumably leads into some sort of like hallway or entranceway. This conversation goes down. You've got a few seconds to kind of do something whilst this conversation is going on. So you're looking at the books.
Yep.
Do you want to just do a quick investigation? I guess
Sure.
the spider's just kind of chilling in the hands. Michael, what are you doing?
Eric is hearing that is going to whilst Evelios is looking at the books, is going to go over, quick, tap him on the shoulder, and be like, "She's gonna get Farreach. Let's follow her up." And is going to go back into the central area, ready to follow up anyone who's anyone, the servant who might get Farreach.
Okay.
That was a 10 on investigation.
A 10. A quick glance at these books. Most of them seem to be kind of like fantasy novels. This seems to be like a casual seating area where you just read books. They're, some of them are like romance stories. Some of them are just kind of stories about like local legends, and some of them are actually even have your name on them, and some of the names of the other people in the party. And there's one really, really fancy one that it's made of a black leather, and it just has Ivar written up the spine. But as you do that, Michael kind of comes and he shakes you and tells you what's going on.
Velos is reaching towards the one that has Ivar on the spine, is like, "Oh yeah," and scuttles off.
Did you grab the book?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But
not yet.
He's aware that it's there.
Lovely. And you all kind of group up towards the door. Everyone who's outside, so Bella and Janice, you see the hatch closes and you hear the footsteps walk back down along the corridor. And as you hear the footsteps walk back down the corridor, do you do anything else, or are you just going to kind of wait for Farreach to show up?
Janus is just going to turn to Beleric and just say, "That's one way of handling it."
I was going to say quite loudly, expect they'd at least let us in to wait, wouldn't you?
You'd expect so.
So
Yeah,
all of
just
you
wait.
guys at the door inside of the house right now, you hear that from outside faintly, and then you hear kind of like a from the like a sigh and a tut from whoever's walking in the hallway. What do you do now? You're all kind of at the doorway leading into the hallway. Are you opening it? Are you going through? Are you casting a fireball?
I'm going to be standing sort of in the hallway out of like walking distance so they don't bump into me, hoping to just
The
follow
doorway
them
to the
in.
hallway is shut at the moment.
Is that the one that we just went through?
No, the one you just went through led to the servants' quarters. You went from the servants' quarters
Okay.
into the living room, and there's a doorway here that leads
In which
into
case,
the
yes,
hallway.
I am going to open it a tiny bit, and I'm only about that much, and I'm going to try and shimmy through.
Okay, so this doorway leads into a hallway. Roll me another stealth for this, I think. Roll me a stealth for opening the doorway.
With advantage because you're invisible, right?
You don't gain an advantage because you're invisible. I'll just take into account that you're invisible.
It's a 12.
Okay.
Seems really bonkers.
The rules for invisibility are really weird. I had a DM who I had a game once where I was invisible, but all the enemies were just tracking me because they could just sense where I was or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Invisibility
Don't
rules
like
are a bit
that.
weird, but yes.
Yeah.
You crack the door open and you manage to squeeze through. And as you squeeze through, you do see what looks like a female. She's wearing like a black kind of servant suit. It's got like white ruffles around the neck. You can see them up the back of her neck at the moment as she's walking to the far end of the hallway. So to your right now is the main doorway where you know Beleric and Janice are at the moment. And to the left, just to the left at the far side of the hallway, you can see that there is a staircase that leads up. And then further to the left, there is no other doorway, but there is just a wall, like the back of the house wall. There's a large oil painting on that, which is far-reaching as children. He's, your very standard kind of medieval painting. He's there with his children, his arm around one of them, the other one's in his hand, and a woman is just kind of by his shoulder, presumably his wife. And they've got that mounted on the wall. And you see this servant walk past the base of the stairway and turn to a suit of armour. So there's 4 suits of armour lining the wall in this hallway, and she turns to one of these suits of armour. And she reaches a hand up to it and kind of goes in the mask and fiddles with something, and you hear a faint click. While she's doing this, what's everyone else doing? Are you all...
impatiently.
Am I an invisible spider?
No,
Or
you
am I a
aren't.
spider?
You are a spider. You're a floating spider.
You can just kind of see the spider, just as spiders would, kind of feeling out its surroundings. It looks a little confused that it can't really go anywhere and is suspended in midair. I would like to point out that my intelligence is a 1.
Ah. Lovely.
I have a 1 for intelligence.
Is that a +1? Or
No, a 1.
It's a
Overall.
-5 for my modifier. I have a 1 intelligence.
Oh yeah, because you literally become a spider under
Yes.
polymorph.
Oh yeah.
Fido?
Yes,
Right,
you
okay,
did.
that is reassuring. I thought you meant as Ivar. I was about to have a real panic.
I mean,
Why did I
Ivar
not get this?
Surely
actually
mental
has a 1
stats,
in intelligence
mental stats stay the
sometimes.
same.
No, that's if you
No?
get
That's
wild shaped
shaped.
or
Ah,
animal shaped, that kind of thing. Polymorph
Yeah.
makes you the creature.
you're an idiot now.
I
Got it.
am stupid. Yeah.
Very
It's a
dexterous, though.
a high contrast. Yeah, I'm a bit more dexterous actually. Yeah, which is why he's just padding out this invisible cell that he's in.
Var's mental health just like skyrockets.
No worries, they don't fit in here.
Brain empty.
Lovely.
No thoughts.
Ivelios, what are you doing? You following?
Yeah, just following along behind, trying to keep the spider out of view of anyone as much as possible.
You just kind of like keeping your hands on the wall so the spider looks like it's walking along the wall a little bit.
Kind of,
Lovely.
or like just swinging out occasionally, like just trying to mimic spider movement.
Lovely. So as you all in the hallway, are you closing the door behind you, or are you just kind of leaving it cracked open?
Leave as you find, closing it. I've.
You are the
Derek,
last
what do you
person
think?
through the door, so it will be
Oh.
up to you, really.
Yeah, we'll close it again.
Okay.
Slams it in some invisible person's face. Like, oh, sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yes, so you saw this female servant. She reached her hand up into the helmet of this armor, and something clicked. And as she did this, you heard a faint kind of like hiss of steam, and underneath the staircase, the carpeted floor, it kind of like cracks in a rectangle, and you see it kind of slowly drop down into a ramp. And you hear and the woman, she shouts out, "So far, Reach, you have a visitor. A Beleric Morgamarsh is here to see you." And you hear a loud kind of groan and a, all right, I'll be right up. And you give it maybe, 20, 30 seconds. And Farreach walks up the ramp and into the hallway and heads towards the main front door. The servant kind of follows behind his shoulder. What do you do?
I'm going to rush down the ramp right now.
Kill him now.
So tempting.
Evil spider.
He's stupid.
Like the little devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, gonna slide down the ramp. See. Just
Like
get
literally?
there.
Like getting your ass and like slide down? Or
I was thinking more like, when you see people going down icy hills
On
but
the,
on
like,
their feet.
they go on their leg and then they put one leg out and... No?
Just
I'm
like
not sure.
just like feet but leading backwards, just like diddly diddly.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys go down to this secret under the stairs room. Meanwhile, you hear some people, Janice and Belric, you hear some people walk up to the doorway. And the door swings open, and you see the servant has pulled it open in front of Mr. Farreach, and Farreach just stood there. He's not wearing his council clothes at the moment. He's in a much more relaxed, modest. He's in like a purple velvet with some touches of red here and there, like a night suit. He looks quite tired, bags under his eyes a little bit, and then Belric, Janice as well. So what do I owe this late visit? I know I said I would fund anything that you needed, but this is very late. What do you want?
I do apologise for intruding this
As you
hour.
should.
I was merely hoping for a moment to talk with you outside of the nosy eyes of the council itself.
And you couldn't think of a better time to do this?
I could, sir, but people are around at that times.
So be it. As long as we are quiet, we may take some seats in the front room. If you would like to come in.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
And he swiftly turns around and walks to a door on the left-hand side of the corridor. He opens it and he reveals the front room with the two seats and the sofas and the fire. It's still on, but it's he's in its last kind of dregs of life. Like it's just slowly crackling, creating a nice atmosphere. And the servant shuts the door behind you, and I assume you're both walking in?
Yep.
You both walk in, you sit on the sofa. You sit on one sofa as Farreach sits on the other, and he spreads his arms out across either side, kicks his legs up on a stool, and he gestures to the servant, and the servant goes over to the back room where the table is and pours out some drinks in some small whiskey glasses, and retrieves some ice from a little box, and gets you some drinks. And we'll cut back to everyone else. So everyone else who's heading downstairs at the moment. You walk down the stairs, and it's getting quite dark. And at the bottom of the stairs, you walk down the stairs and you're facing right into a wall. And to your left, the room kind of comes back out underneath the stairs again. And you can see that at the moment, this room is filled with broken boxes, like broken bits of carpet. There's what looks like a grindstone in one of the corners. There's a few animal heads mounted on some of the walls. It looks like a basement where you throw stuff that you don't know where to put it anymore, really. And there is one door that you can see underneath the stairs again that goes into a wall. So what are you doing?
Floating.
It's just gonna be Ivar's default answer as long as he's a spider.
Unintelligently floating is my. That's my new default. I don't think I can ever not go back to this. I'll be Ivar and I'll be like, make me a spider again,
Yeah.
please. Life was so simple.
Oh, he's gonna have an intense flashback when he becomes dwarf again.
He's gonna be
and just like,
crippled with intelligence when he comes back. Just, oh God, I can think things. Oh.
the anxiety, it's back.
I care again.
Michael or Ivelios, what are you doing now that you're in this room?
So it's just empty boxes and like broken crates and just storage.
Yeah, a couple of chairs, and there's one door in this room that you can see.
A grindstone.
Eric has heard that he was in his study and sort of feels like this isn't his study, but there's no obvious path to where could a study be. Words.
There is a door in this room.
There's a door.
It
Is
loops-
the door
it loops
locked?
back round under the rest of the house, doesn't it?
It looks like it might do, yes. If you go over and try the door, it is not locked.
I'm
Okay.
gonna.
I'll let Eric take first point on this actually.
Okay, I'll open the door.
Okay, so you swing this door open, and it was very, very dark, but some of the light that's kind of bleeding through downstairs bounced off some of the walls and illuminates it a little bit, just enough to see. In this room, there are large mounds of something with like white cloth draped over it, and you can see some of the edges of this white cloth. You've got like a red kind of like stain to them. And there's loads of these piles draped all across this room. And there's another door to your left as well.
Eric is gonna pull up one of the sheets.
It's a corpse!
You pull up one of the sheets to reveal some sort of very old, rusted machinery. Seems to have been there for a very, very, very long time. Just lots of kind of cogs and bolts and wheels. And the rust has seemed to seep into some of these sheets.
Can I figure out what it might have done when it wasn't rusty?
Sure thing. Make me a... I think just a straight intelligence for this one, actually.
Just straight intelligence? Oh boy.
Dude,
Can
what kind of tools?
also try and figure out what these
Sure,
machines
go for it.
are?
What kind of tools do you have a proficiency with?
Alchemist supplies that in.
Okay, yeah, just a
Oh,
straight
and D6.
intelligence then.
I rolled a 9, so 4.
4.
So that's a 3 for a total of 3.
Lovely.
Yes! Let's go!
So the
Oh,
spider.
he's smarter than a 10-year-old, but
Let's fucking go!
So
surrounded by idiots.
as a spider, you seem like you see this place, and it would make a nice new home. Actually, looking at it, there's lots of like nooks and crannies, and like it's clearly hidden. It's nice and dark. This would be a really nice place to settle down for like the rest of your life.
I love a good nook, but crannies.
Oh. Ivelios, looking at it, you're not quite sure. It looks to be a bit damaged as well, like so. You're not quite sure what it could have been at any point.
Man, I'm pretty sure I have some alchemical like rust cleaner somewhere, but not on me.
Michael, what are you doing?
Staring.
Eric is gonna put back the sheet and say, "Do you think we should let Ivar out now?"
Yes, I think he might be of more use in the current situation. And
As
I'm
soon
gonna
as he says
open
yes,
my hands.
before he gets the chance to open his hand, Ivar
yeah.
starts
He's in the middle
growing.
of pondering, like, yeah, that could be. Ah!
Oh.
One hand just comes up and I'm holding a dwarf for like a split second before my puny arms give out.
Lovely.
The arms, fat dwarf.
I have a
Lovely.
-1 strength, so absolutely no way if Elios can pick up Ivar.
I'll just close that character sheet there.
Lovely. So whilst you're
Having
doing
fun
this, the other door in this room that's currently closed starts to open, and it just bleed light into the room. The room behind it is got some sort of light into it, and it reveals this room a bit more, and you can kind of see around a little bit better. And you hear the voice of the Red Guard.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Say, I think this might be the study we were looking for.
I was ready to start scrapping then. Thought someone was coming out.
Exactly the same thought if Elias had like one hand on his rapier.
Oh.
All right.
Let's investigate then.
It is why
Eric
we
is
came
going to
here.
be scrambling around everywhere. He's not going to be taking a lot of care to leave things exactly as they are. He's looking for it. He won't be throwing paper on the floor.
Okay. So as you step into the room, it's lit by a candlelight. It's got a really nice lush, like red fur carpet across the whole room. All the walls are made of like lovely, like a lovely red wood, and all of the walls are also bookshelves as well. It's completely lined with bookshelves. And at the far side of this rectangular room, there is a desk, and it's got like a little candle on it, and it's all illuminated. There's just candles along all of the bookshelves that are lighting the room at the moment. And this desk has a chair behind it that's clearly just been quickly pushed back as someone has left it in a hurry.
Is it a very nice chair?
It is a very, very nice chair. It's not kind of like your office chair. It's not an office chair that you would put there to, like, be an office chair. It's like, this is a chair for comfort, right? It's got a really nice big fluffy cushion on it, and it's really got lovely, like, ergonomically shaped armrests and everything.
This would look incredible in the center cabin.
So, are we doing some investigations?
Yes, please.
Ivar, I believe that you said if we could get to the office, then you could perhaps locate anything mat-like or magical.
Well, I'd like to think I would be a little bit more useful, yes. That's what we're about to find out, though. And just before I do step into the room, could I have another look at this machinery? Could I check if
Go
it's
for it.
under another sheet as well, if there's another similar piece of machinery under another one of these other covered sheets?
Yeah. So you pull another one up, and it also seems to be some sort of mechanical something.
And is Far Reach known for having started out doing something like farm work with like machines or something like that? Is there anything that
Ooh.
jogs my memory here?
Roll a quick history.
Okay.
12? 20.
20.
Yes.
Nice. So what you can remember, which is quite little, he's quite a secretive person. You don't really remember. From what you know, he grew up in a rich family and was pretty much instantly a counsellor.
Sure.
You don't remember any, farmers' backgrounds or anything like that. However, you did see the massive fields outside, so that could be the case. But you don't remember him having been any sort of prodigy with mechanics or anything like that. No.
And having been around some level of mechanical engineering in the past, would I have any idea what these machines do, what they're for, where they might have come from, anything like that?
And what kind of tools do you have proficiency with?
Smiths, cartographers, masons.
Okay, just roll me intelligence with your proficiency then for the Smith's tools.
Intelligence with proficiency.
It's going to be nice.
We'll remind people that last time I did give people some inspiration, but I can't remember who. That's on you guys, but it was out there.
Yeah. I cannot recall either. I didn't make any notes of that.
I think you did give it to me, but I'm not sure.
I think you were one of them.
I'm probably...
Did
I think it was Evelius when he jumped over the wall.
Yes.
Yes.
That is
Okay,
right.
never mind, Ira. Sorry.
So I have a. Is it just with proficiency, or is it with anything else as well?
It would just be like an intelligence plus proficiency.
Intelligence roll with proficiency, so
Yes.
that means it's +8 for 18.
With an 8... What was this roll for again? Seeing if
See
you
what
had
machine-
any
if I
idea
could
what
recognise
machine it could be. It doesn't look like anything you recognise, so you can probably rule out any kind of like war machinery or anything like that.
I was hoping
or-
it wasn't going to be that anyway.
Yes.
Just like,
You could
it's
rule
just
out things you're
cannon.
familiar with. It doesn't look like it's any kind of like war machine, and it doesn't look like it's any kind of like transportation or like carts or anything like that. Any kind of like vehicle. But you don't know what it is. You can just rule
Yeah.
out a few things that it isn't.
Fair enough. All right then. Seeing as it no longer takes my interest, I will proceed into the room, and we are looking for. What exactly are we looking for? We're trying to find this
A
map,
magical map.
and it's the map to like find the entrance to the
Black
Black
um,
cell.
black cell.
Yep.
I keep wanting to call it
Yeah.
the black cube. Where am I getting that from?
Black cube.
I just
Cube of
feel like
doom.
it's going to be a cube when we get there. It's just some
Yeah.
floating black cube.
To be fair, the black cell only holds one person. I can see where the
Yeah.
cube makes sense.
I think I've just had a picture in my mind of just this floating orb that's not an orb. It's a cube. So yeah, I will.
The orb cube.
I will initially just do a scan to see if there's anything particularly standoutish, and then if not, which I'm assuming I definitely won't find it, time to start looking for some secret stuff. But yeah, we'll see.
With a quick look, you don't see anything. I mean, there's a desk. You probably keep stuff in the desk, but other than that, there, like I said, there is 4 walls completely filled with bookshelves. So it'd be it would take a long time to go through everything and find it.
I assume it would. In which case, I'd start with probably checking the desk to see if there's any hidden catches, latches, buttons, surprises that might open up hidden compartments, for example.
Go for it. Is everyone else looking at the same time? You want to just roll?
Yeah, if Elios is running a finger just along the top of all of the books along one wall and just pulling ever so slightly at the top of them to see if any of them are latches, you know, like the fake book latch. He's encountered this before, so
He has many of his own.
Lovely. That'll take you a little bit of time, but you won't really need a roll
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll an investigation then, Ivor? On the desk?
And Eric will be helping with that.
You're both just looking at the desk.
I'm looking
Just
around the room. Yeah. 16.
16. Okay. So as you're looking at the desk, so you look at the desk from the other side, like where you'll be seated. So it's your standard kind of like work desk, only a rich person's version, right? You know, it's got really nice like wood and like
Upholstered, just gorgeous leather.
little carvings, you know, on the legs and such. But the left and right are where what's propping it up are all drawers, and then obviously it's got the desk on top. On top there are lots of bits of paper, and you can see it. There is a particular piece of paper, like right on the desk, that maybe Farich has just been using or reading or working on, and lying next to that is a pen, an ink quill, a quill, and ink. And other than that, yes, there's like 3 drawers on each side of the desk. One of them has a padlock on.
Oh.
Whilst you're looking at this, Eric, you're looking around the room. I mean, you don't find the map, but I mean, what else would you kind of like, if you see it, you'd be like, oh, that's interesting.
Rugs.
Obviously, anything that has any indication about what's happened to the king, but also just what sort of if he's got any sort of side plots that are a bit dodge. And he's giving off some dodgy vibes though. Anything that points to that.
Okay.
The tax evasion books just lying there.
This is how I'm so rich. I just don't pay anyone anything.
Lovely.
One of his books, How
The
to Scam
Chancellor. I
People.
don't need to pay tax.
God, that sounds familiar.
So, Eric and Develios, as you're kind of looking around and scanning the room quickly, the kind of books you find, so there is a whole shelf on one of the walls that is dedicated to, what's the word I'm looking for? The treasurer logs, like all the notes and the
like
transactions and ledgers and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole shelf on that. It continued on to another one as well. The other kind of books there are, they're all about kind of like, how to effectively how to be effective with your money, things about money, lots of things about like how to build money build your money into more money. Books
Just
on
deceive
dad, poor
everybody
dad
into
is right
thinking you're
there.
not in league with the demons.
there are quite a few books on demons specifically as well. Most of them are just kind of like, there's a few kind of like storybooks of legends. There's a lot of ledgers as well of like reports from the war, which have different descriptions of different creatures that have been seen and stuff like that. And there's a whole section on like how to be an effective not ruler, how to be an effective man in charge, kind of stuff like that. How to be a good councilman. There are
How to be king.
there is a book named that as well. Yes. And there are a few books about like how to avoid scams, how to run an effective business.
Open mail attachments.
He's got like the version of Lion King where Scar wins.
There's a copy of Machiavelli's The Prince, just like in private.
Yes, so there's lots and
Social
lots of
contract.
books, mostly around money, being like an effective leader, being a good man in charge. There are a few books on like how to be a good father as well.
They are untouched.
Pristine minds.
Just gathered.
Either that or they're dog-eared and he still doesn't understand them.
Oh, I think that'd be really cute though. He's just like constantly going over them, like, "What am I doing wrong? God damn it! I spend all my time away from home. I don't get it."
Yeah, and there are also books on like how to conduct yourself as well, like like this is the correct posture to walk with, and etiquette, and like how to eat properly. And there's loads of books like that, but you don't see anything that you see it and you're like, oh shit, let me read this. It's clearly a bad guy.
Yeah. It's the obvious
as
book
that
on
happens-
summoning demons in the capital.
As that happens, Eric's eyes go glassy, and he is present, but not really present. And I must bid you quickly adieu. See you.
That's,
See you later,
that's it.
Michael.
There we go.
Lovely.
Oh, well.
Right.
Yeah, Eric's just looking at the wall of like economics books and just completely glazed over.
His mushrooms just getting a bit bigger. He's gone into like hibernation mode.
Just folds over his
In the
eyes.
hood. Oh boy.
Oh man. Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Any secret book latches, just real quick, because that's the main thing that I was looking
second.
for.
There we go. Oh no, that's not worked at all, has it? One second, I'm gonna have to move. Oh, what's just happened? Doom, why have you joined the chat?
He's trying to be helpful. If you
Everything's
drop
going wrong.
If you drop the one that you started, and
Will that fix
Doom
it?
stays in, that should fix it.
Oh, it kind of has.
Technical
close.
If I
difficulty.
now get rid of that one that's showing Doom. There we
Of course, the
go.
old man had to heal
Just
over.
put a black screen over.
Lovely. Oh, and he's
Oh,
left
you've
again.
got to be
No,
kidding
Doom,
me!
come back! Doom, come back!
He was being so helpful and then just wasn't. Oh boy. He did have himself deafened, so I don't think he couldn't hear anything we were saying. So it's like, yay, Doom, but you're so helpful. He's
Oh,
like,
man.
these guys aren't
There,
talking
you're back
to you
again.
assholes.
There
Okay.
we go. Lovely.
Day.
Yeah, Michael just had to nip off and he won't be able to rejoin us.
Ever. He's dead.
But yes, actually, you are correct.
I was. Oh, so Evelios, what was it that you were saying?
Yeah, I was just running over all the books, like looking at the spines, but mainly just pulling on each of them ever so slightly just to see if any of them were at latch.
And yes, whilst you're doing that, you didn't find anything, but you would have had a lot longer to look at the desk whilst you were doing that. So what are you doing with the desk, Ivar?
I would like to rage. So we've got this.
I mean, if you want to turn into a barbarian, I am happy for that to happen.
I just call out to Janus, like, train me.
No, I'm just allowing it. Just if you want to be a barbarian, you just can.
Hulk out, rip the desk apart,
Yeah,
go back to
I was
having
like-
one intelligence.
I
Yeah,
thought he's so
I'll give you
mad at
24 in
far reach,
strength.
all of his training just
Trade all my intelligence for strength. I like it. I would like to ask Evelios. Hey, you found anything interesting, or can I borrow you?
nothing in particular apart from obvious boring
Get over here and
books.
be useful.
If you insist. And I wander over and just sort of like tap him on the opposite shoulder as I arrive because I'm still invisible. Over here.
Ah, by the gods. Can you get into this lock without damaging it? We need to be able to put stuff back as it was.
I can give it a try.
You do
Never
that
done this
then.
invisible before, but let's see what we can do. And
And-
Velos is going to take out his picks and squat in front of the desk.
Go
And
for it.
kind of trade places and start looking at books. I'd like to
Yeah.
look for, as we would like kind of briefly went over, if there's anything that looks particularly dog-eared or something that has seen a lot of action.
Okay.
I'd like to look to see if I can find anything.
Okay. Whilst you guys are doing this, Janice and Bellaric, what are
Ellen!
you doing?
Flip the couch, squash him.
Rage. Pull your sword out.
So I rage and I kill him.
Channel your inner Ivar.
Sadly, his AC is too high for you to physically hit. Sorry about
Ah,
that. He's the BBG. Yeah.
NPCs powers.
You make new
Whole
characters.
plot armor.
So yes, what are you guys doing? You're in the sofa room. You've just been poured some what looks like whiskey by the servant girl woman.
Just a dram. A wee
Protect him
dram.
from poison.
And Farreach has asked you what you want to discuss. What are you here for?
I'm gonna take his cue and like really kind of relax onto the sofa and try and make myself like look comfortable. Whether or not that is true.
It's very
Um,
easy to look and be comfortable in his chairs, I will say.
Yeah, I just want to kind of match his energy
Vibe,
a bit
yeah.
and try and
Linus is going to do the complete opposite and just be like as stiff as a brick, sat up straight, arms on his legs.
nodding off.
Sitting at attention, basically. So yeah, very, very military.
Lovely.
And say, oh, yes, sir. Like we said, we're very sorry for disturbing you so late. I wanted to talk to you, man to man on a outside of the political turmoil and the nonsense that occurs in that council room. And I also wanted to apologize, actually, for my friend Ivar. Noticed he was hardly treating you with the respect I'm sure a man of your station expects.
Oh,
Ivar's ears are burning.
I'm muting myself.
Yes, that's what we get when we invite so many people to the council room who really have no place to be there.
He was certainly much better suited at the wall.
And even in that he failed that, didn't he? Oh well.
Glad you catch my drift. I wanted to ask you, I suppose, without the Queen getting upset about talking of her husband, might I ask what you know of Jagarath? Given that we're headed north, I just wanted to fill in the gaps,
Well, he's in prison. He has been for 15 years. There's not much you need to know about him. He's not getting out of there.
Should hope not. I'm sure your guards are a lot more able than His Majesty's.
No, it seems so. It seems so.
Well, I'm gonna kind of glance at Janus kind of quickly and try and make sure it's quite obvious that I'm doing this. I'm gonna lean forward slightly and say, I wonder if I might borrow you a bit more privately, actually, as well. There is something that I would like to ask you.
Janus like slightly looks at Bellaric without turning his head too much, but just kind of confused and tilts his head like, what?
The councilman straightens out his tunic and he sits up slightly. Janice, I think that might be your cue to stand outside for a moment.
Janus lets out a long-winded huff and just stands up and then walks outside of the room.
I'm going to try and really obviously make it look like
it look like I'm feeling a little bit sheepish.
Mhm.
Kind of like, oh no, he now thinks badly of me.
And then, as Janus is leaving the room, he shakes his head like this.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for the door to close and kind of give it a moment after that, and then kind of shuffle over a little bit so that you don't have to talk so loudly.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask him, given, look, I appreciate that this may be a potentially sensitive topic here for you, and feel free to want to know. I completely understand. I was wondering if you might enlighten me to how one may obtain a place on the council.
His eyebrows raised slightly.
Because surely there are people on there who, as we mentioned, are not quite suited to such a position.
Many of them. If you would like a role in the council, you will need to be voted in.
Still, I see.
I'm sure a man like yourself would have no trouble being voted in.
Like to think that I have appropriate friends in right places.
Hmm.
I wonder if I might be able to count on your vote.
My vote is expensive. It holds a lot of sway. You need to
Wonderful.
persuade me that you are worth my vote.
I think I'm a better fit than my friend Ivar. Certainly one who is a lot more amenable to your persuasions.
It is easy to join the council, it is harder to remove someone. You can join if you're voted in. No one else leaves just because you've joined. That is how there are so many people in the room.
See, is it a voting out sort of a situation, or is it a more extreme methods?
No one has been voted out of the council for as long as I can remember. Most of the people who have left have passed away.
Understood.
Or retired. Or both.
Both. Brilliant. Well, you for your act.
If you wish to be a member of the council, as I said, you just need to prepare a speech. You need to attend a council meeting and convince everyone why you would be a good councilman. And then we all hold a vote. And as I said, my vote does hold a lot of sway. There are 50 odd so people who would vote whatever I voted for. So as I said, I'm the real man you need to impress.
It's always been the case. I point of curiosity then, lighten the mood a little. I hope that I might press on you not to mention this to my companion.
As long as I see no benefit, my lips are sealed.
Can I? So as he says that,
Mhm.
I kind of lean back, looking, a bit relieved,
Mhm.
and kind of toy a little bit with the necklace around. It's quite chunky. With a big pendant on it, and I would like to cast Detect Thoughts and see what he's thinking that would make it worth his while.
Lovely.
What his benefit is.
Cast it into the chat so I can see what it specifies.
I don't know how
And
to
we'll-
do that.
Just click on the spell so I can read what it is, and we'll go back to everyone else in the study. So you are about to, I believe, try and pick the lock on this drawer.
Yep. So I have my thieves' tools out,
Mhm.
and
You have Bardic.
I do have Bardic Inspiration, which, you know what? I'm gonna use it actually. It's a D8, I believe.
Yes, and if you fail, you still get to keep it with your. Yes.
Yeah.
Unfailing Inspiration. So that's plus. Where's my modifier? Ah, yes, there it is. That's a 25.
Lovely. With a 25, you lean down, you kind of cover it a little bit, and just a very swift moments later, you hear a click and the door slides open.
Like blowing on it.
Inspiration.
And it reveals a couple of things. There are a few rolled up pieces of paper. There is a pouch, looks like some sort of money pouch, all placed on the velvet kind of lining inside the drawer. There are a couple of pens as well.
Nothing
One of the
suspicious about those, is there?
Which of the pens looks fancier?
All of them. There are 3 pens.
There are 3 of them.
They're all the same design, so it's just really your colour preference. So one of them's golden purple, one of them's golden red, and one of them's golden black.
Boss, gold out.
The golden purple one vanishes into a pocket.
Lovely.
That's going to come in useful.
He's like, sign this. You pull it out in front of him. Whoops.
Yeah, it becomes his go-to pen. It's like the one he has in his top pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like those little handkerchiefs that pop out.
Yeah.
You've just got the pen there all the time.
Yep. Okay, yes, that vanishes, and bits of paper.
Yes.
Did you say?
There are 3 scrolls inside this drawer. All of them look slightly different.
Just going to open the closest one. Absolutely no hesitation.
Bang.
Lovely. Let me just roll a d3.
Cliff of warning. Oh no.
You're about to get banished, blown up, or bitten by something.
Well, it was actually just to decide which one you which one you were grabbing.
Did I grab the one with the 7th level glyph of warding on, or just the 3rd level glyph of warding?
So this spell, not this spell, this scroll is a scroll, a spell scroll. It's a scroll of bark skin. Quite low level spell, but it is useful for people who aren't in the military and just want to be a little bit tougher.
Ivelios takes one look at it and goes, "That is arcane. Ivar."
I'll come over after trying to see if there's any more worn books. I'll make my way back over and have a look at what he's waving at me.
It's just floating in the air.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. It is a scroll of bark skin.
He's looking at it, little only a hint of recognition. I mean, definitely magical. See what I can do with that. Kind of look over at Eric, who is still just glazed over.
Mm-hmm.
Might be more your cup of tea. We'll see. And then he will deposit it into a scroll holder. I'm sure he probably has one of.
As a magic user, I imagine you have places to hold your scrolls, yeah?
I will.
Instead of holsters, instead of pistol holsters, they're scroll holsters.
He whips them out, 360s them, and then casts them.
Barkskin! Oh shit, wrong one. Where's magic missile?
All right.
What else? I mean, did you find the map or
Nothing map-like so far.
Bollocks.
Were there any other drawers in this desk?
None that were locked. I
Yeah.
think there were other drawers,
Yeah.
well, they go all the way down like towers, but
There was 3 drawers on each side.
one was locked, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to feel around. I'm just going to pull out the other 2 scrolls and sort of lob them in Ivar's direction. And then,
Whoa! I dropped.
yeah, just
The scrolls just fly out of the drawer towards your face. Dex save. One of them's a fireball.
oh no.
I accidentally cast it midair. Ah!
Yeah, they're like incredibly volatile. It's like if you hit a spell scroll too hard, it just goes off.
And I
But yeah.
will spend a moment to see if either of these
Lovely. So
garner
the
any further information.
the first one you look at, it takes a moment to kind of realize what it is. But it's also a spell scroll. You just kind of you look through it to kind of figure out what spell it is, and it is a 6th level Dispel Magic.
Ooh.
Spell Scroll.
Spicy.
So I'm fairly certain I've told you guys this, but in my world, spell scrolls are a one-time use item. Anyone can use them. You kind of use them, and like the magical energy, it activates and like burns the scroll up. So yeah, one-time use. Anyone can use them. Even Janus, and even when he's raging, he can use them as well.
Bark
Hey,
skin.
Dreed.
So yes, that's the first one. Whilst you're doing that, what were you doing, Evelios?
Log the scrolls and then feeling around in this drawer for any like false bottoms or false backs or anything.
Okay, do an investigation. Whilst you're doing that, either you unfurl the other scroll to reveal a map of Aleria.
Let's go.
And as you unveil it to the furthest point, you see that on this map there is a slight glow in a place that you will actually recognise a little bit. If I can figure out how to actually make it appear on the map. As it is down in the south, just above Rulem, which is
Oh no.
your father's dwarven city. And a little glow appears deep in the Great Divide, just above Rulem, which you guys can see on the main map if you're on the main map right now.
Yeah, there it is.
There's appeared a little question mark.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Ivar comes to realize that he is holding stuff that when inevitably when Farreach goes looking through his drawer, he will see that it is missing. So he will begrudgingly take the spell scrolls back to the drawer, put them back in. Hopefully in the right order. God knows if that's going to be an important detail. We'll see. But he'll put them back in, and he will, instead of taking the map, because I don't think we need the actual map itself. Can I?
If you remember correctly, they said that you need the map to get there.
So the map actually is magical itself. Okay, so we need to keep the map. Can I try and would it even be possible to make a copy of this to replace
It
into the drawer?
depends how long you're willing to spend doing it. I mean, probably not to make a copy of the world map.
It's a full map.
It's a full map, yeah.
We don't have one of those spare. Screw it. All the scrolls are coming with me then. Because ain't going back in the drawer. Neither
In for a
are
penny.
they.
Yeah.
In for a
Yeah,
penny,
it's-
in for a pound.
Because there's no chance
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to make a copy of this. He's going to know he's been robbed.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we might as well look like it was a standard robbery at this point, I think. Just like, do we trash the place?
We absolutely don't trash the place. That's
Shaft.
going to be far too noisy. Is
Fair
that a
enough.
pen? No,
Uh,
I can't see you anyway. You're still invisible.
The
A
pen
pen
is floating in
floating.
midair.
It's just the
Let's
pen
get The pen's floating like about where a pocket would be.
slowly fading out. I'm like,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yes, so
Yeah,
you
that
have
was a
the map.
9 to discover secret compartments.
No, yeah.
No, you didn't find any secret compartments in this drawer.
But we'll
Yeah.
tell everybody. We've got it. This is it.
All right.
The
Shall
Red
we ship
Guard
out?
says, are you sure?
I am almost 100% sure. I haven't seen any other maps in here, so I'm just assuming.
Okay.
Give me a moment. And I would like to begin to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
So that takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes plus the.
Detect
One-
magic's in action, so yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Will be 10 minutes. I have a way to make sure, but it will take time.
Do we have time? I mean, I know Belleroc's a talker, but far-reach is a man of business.
Maybe we keep looking for as long as we can. I'm gonna try and finish this if possible.
All
Try
right.
and look. Try and look for anything on the shelves that looks like it's had some use. That's
Okay.
my best bet.
Yeah.
So you guys will
Yeah.
spend a good 10 minutes doing that. We'll go back to the other two and see what they're doing.
10 minutes.
So you don't know how long you've got to speak
Don't
for.
know.
You don't know what's going on. You don't know the plan. You have not discussed any of this
Not a
beforehand.
Scooby.
You have no idea. But what are you doing?
So I would like to know what his immediate thoughts. Like, I'm not pushing any deeper with detect thoughts.
Yep.
Like, I really just want to know when I say, or when he said, what might benefit me. I want to know what that is. If he's thinking about it. He's not.
So he wasn't really thinking about what might benefit him. As he said that, I mean, things that flashed across his mind would have been, gold, power, influence, stuff like that. And then after you say that and you sit back, his mind goes back to thinking about how tired he is and how he wishes to sleep, and a bit of confusion, really. He wants to really know, why you're here, what you're actually after. He suspects that you're not here just for this.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to realize that Janice has been just probably stood like a lemon outside the door.
If you looked
For this
outside, you
conversation.
would not really be able to differentiate between the suits of armor and Janice.
She's just nodded off there again. I'm gonna kind of lean back, kind of assuming that the conversation is drawn to a close. I'll be like, well, okay, you got me. I did have a third question for you.
I
One
got you?
for
What do you mean I got you?
oh no, just you seem a bit tired, drained. I have just shown up at 10 o'clock and no invitation. You must be wondering. Be a fool if you weren't, and you're no fool.
He gets a confused look on his face.
I was wondering, I'm sure you're aware, write the speeches for his wrote the speeches for His Majesty. And I noticed that there were some people in that council room who disagreed with you a little more verbally than perhaps you would like. And I wanted to make you an offer, really.
An offer?
Mutually beneficial. I can bolster your influence.
And why do you think I would need that? I am already, well, dare I say, the most powerful man in the kingdom at the moment. Now the king is not here.
With respect, sir, you're the richest.
And most powerful.
Have you ever been to the walls, to the military camps, sir?
I have done my fair share of showing my face at them, yes.
When was the last time you did anything for the veterans of this fine city?
Did anything for them? No. I think we're getting more into personal affairs of the kingdom here. It feels like you're interrogating the treasurer, not me.
I thought you... Of course, right. However, what I'm saying is that I have a good rapport with the veterans of this fine city.
Oh, I know.
And I would like you to know, from the goodness of my heart, that they're not best pleased. And
yes,
they
can't be. They never will be. They're ungrateful folks.
They are, really, yes. However, you could make them grateful to you. if you had
Interesting.
their ears opened.
Tell me what you're here to say. Enough of this fluffy business.
Fluffy business is my dealing.
Yes, I can tell.
Apologies. I can make them like you. Watch your money.
I think people can like me if I want them to like me. Why would I need you? What can you do for me that I can't do for myself?
Talk to ordinary people.
You think I can't talk to ordinary people?
I'm sure you're capable of talking, sir, but they won't listen.
Alright. Interesting. So, what are you doing for me? What do you want me to do for you in return? Tell me.
I'd like
I've already
your vote when it
offered
comes
to
for it.
provide you gold.
Gold is not something that massively motivates me.
Right.
I would like
Yes, I think I
mining
would
to
vote
go
for you.
alongside yours.
I think I would vote for you. I think you would be a good addition to the council.
I should hope so. I would like my name to go down in history as yours does, and hopefully on the right side of it.
We were all on the right side of it. So if that's what you want,
Provided you're friends with the writers.
yes, of course. If the demons are writing it, then I'm afraid none of us are. So if that's what you want, if that's all you need,
I should think so, unless there is anything you wish to ask of me while I'm here, unencumbered.
no, I wish to finish off my business and go to bed.
Respect that. Rather late.
Yes, it is. Do not show up here at this time again. Now leave.
I'm gonna lean forward, chink my glass against his, neck it, and stand up. I'm gonna take a moment, long moment. I'm pushing things. Because he doesn't like me, and I don't like that. To peruse his bookshelves, and specifically, I would like to know if there's anything that I've written on there. So I am looking
Yeah, most of the
for
legends are.
my name and my pen name.
Most
because
of
I
the
don't-
books about the legends are written by you, yes.
Brilliant. So I am going to.
You do notice specifically the black leather one with the Ivar written along the spine is a special edition of Ivar's legend.
Oh god. It's the one that paints me in the worst light possible.
The haters
No,
edition.
actually, I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna be as arrogant. I'm playing here. I'm gonna walk my finger along them, and kind of pause over Ivar's book and kind of pull it out. Look at the front, look at the back, so that he knows that I'm fully aware of the fact that this is a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Wonderful. Well, I'll put it back in the shelves. If you would like me to raise you to heights far beyond his, you know where I am. I'm gonna go for the door.
Okay.
See myself out. Leave on my terms, because he can't tell me to go to bed. Shut up.
He was about to.
Go to bed.
Yeah, so you leave the room.
Also, I'm not gonna wait for Janus. I'm just gonna go to the door.
Okay.
The front door. I just want to kind of get across the impression my business was my business, and he
Okay.
was.
He was just there for fun.
All right. So you have
vibing.
Janice. What are you doing? You leaving as well?
Janice.
See
Janice
Belarus
is
saunter past.
Janice is gonna ask.
leave.
No, Janice is gonna ask one of the servants where the bathroom is.
So as Beleric leaves, the other servant walks out after him and shuts the door behind you. So are you gonna ask them?
Janus just kind of looks at the servant kind of slowly and just asks very quietly, where is the bathroom here?
Really sinister.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Bathroom.
Janice,
Now.
there's an outhouse down by the wall, which you may use.
Janus looks slightly confused and looks at the ceiling and around and is like, "You don't have one inside?"
You wish to use Faric's bathroom?
Janus just stares and just nods.
I'm afraid his wife is asleep in the bed. We will not disturb her by walking through their bedroom to their bathroom.
Janus just says very calmly, "I can be very quiet."
You say that whilst your plate armor is clinking and clanking. Follow me, and she starts walking towards the main door.
Janus follows.
Okay, so she leads you outside of the house and she points to an outhouse by the wall. That one. Over there.
Janus goes straight for it.
Lovely. Everyone else.
Did not take up 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think after
Sorry, guys.
about 5 minutes, Michael with his incredible, Eric with his incredible, he's been kind of like sat by the doorway trying to like listen out. He hears a footstep on the stairs, leading down into this secret room, and he kind of like whisper shouts at you all like, guys, someone's going down.
Oh,
I-
well,
Ivar, how's that cast?
no time. We have to take it and go.
I've sat there with like 15 candles arrayed in like a pentagram, ritually casting this spell.
He's got his book open, and there's just like literally like arcane wisps of energy just coming out of it. He's got his eyes closed, his brow furrowed, and there's like blue light basically like just edging off of his braid, and his tattoos lighting up. But then it's just like his eyes open, and it all just goes. It just like it all disappears. He's like bollocks.
His third eye was halfway open.
Yeah. Like, no time, and I don't have it prepared.
Damn.
Oi,
Very well.
guardsman, make us disappear again.
I cannot do it again.
Oh, wait. Oh shit, I have to be a spider again, don't I?
Can Eric do that again? I'm pretty sure he can.
What level's
bloody well
polymorph?
hope so.
4th level.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I imagine. Yes, it's 4th level. I imagine he would turn you into a spider again.
You don't know where it's coming from either, because he's invisible too.
Which would break his invisibility.
Oh.
So I don't know if he would do that.
That's a good point.
Yes, he would, because then he would also wild shape. He would wild
Wild
shape
shape?
into a spider,
Okay.
or something very small as well.
Okay. I usually don't like upping people's character when they're not here, but we'll say he polymorphs you, wild shapes himself into a spider, clambers into Evelios's hands. And whilst you've been doing this, you have heard the other door open, and you do hear someone start to walk through the room of the machines. And then just as you pick the spiders up, you see Farich kind of step into the study, and he's looking at the doorway that you just walked through with a bit of a confused look on his face.
I was hoping to be able to click it shut before he came in. Damn.
And I'm hoping you shut all the goddamn drawers.
And you hear kind of like a, I could have sworn I shut the door behind me. Oh well. And he steps further into
like
the
it.
room. Yep.
I'm gonna like it.
Lovely.
Absolutely, just
You-
straight up and out there.
Pace out the door. You're going to need to open the door, the second door, because he did shut that behind him. So, do you want to roll a quick?
Like into there very quietly.
You want to roll a quick stealth for that?
Stealth. Oh boy.
Surely you're good at stealth.
Nah, doubt
I mean, I'm a rogue. How possibly unstealthy could I be? The answer is that's a 30.
Oh.
With a 30,
off.
even you don't hear the door open. You're like, what's just happened? I can't even hear this happening. You slip-
Evelios stops for a second, pulls out a tiny oil can on the hinges.
and you slip out the door, and you get onto the ramp just as you see the servant at the top of the stairs with her hand inside the the helmet, and it starts to rise as she clicks the button.
Sprint jump.
Sprint jump.
I'm gonna just attempt to basically gain enough momentum to combat roll up the stairs.
Do an athletics then. Quick athletics. Or acrobatics.
He's Dark Souls in it. He's Dark Souls in it.
Acrobatics. That's an 18.
An 18. Yes, you dodge roll under the attack. You dodge it. No, you dodge roll out the way. With a little bit of it makes a little bit of motion, and the servant kind of like looks at the stairs and he's like, "Huh, I think we need an oil change," and then goes back into the sofa, into the sofa, not the sofa, bloody hell, into the living room, into the living room, and starts cleaning again.
Okay, I'm gonna actually. I've got my hands full of spiders.
Yes, you do.
I do, and I really don't want to put
pocket spiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket Ivar, because
and Michael,
Eric still has his mental scores when he's wild shape, so I'm just gonna pop him on his shoulder so that because he's not liable to wander off in search of a cozy
mouth spider.
Lovely.
So
mouth spider. No.
Spyvar goes in a pocket.
Well, thank Doom for that one.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
Pocket. It's dark and I'm contained.
It's not the most delightful feeling to have a spider in your pocket, but I'll live with it. And I'm gonna sneak into the study.
Yes, she left the door open behind her.
Yep, so sneak into there, and I'm gonna run my fingers back along that bookshelf, and I want to pick up 2 different books, if I can get away with it.
You'll need a stealth again.
Yep, that's fine.
This one's going to be a DC 28.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Really.
Look like you were convinced anyway. Like, yeah, 28 can do that.
You just roll a 30.
I have advantage on stealth because of my cloak. I keep forgetting I have it.
Okay.
Which I need. That's a 20. That's a 20 total.
Yep. That's fine. You pick up 2 of the books. As soon as you pick up the books, they will turn invisible themselves.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, because they're objects. Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yep.
Which books? Can you tell me which books so I can prepare what's in these books?
We're
in the session there. I need to write an entire book. I need to get 2 entire books.
You bastard.
I'm going to pick up the fancy copy of Ivar's book.
Don't really need to write anything. I've got this.
And I'm also going to pick up a book on Beleric.
Oh, shit.
Has Beleric written legends on himself?
Dig in the dirt.
It might not have been one he wrote, but you said there was one for most of the legends there. I'm hoping
that's why I said most.
Oh.
It is up to you. Would you have allowed competitive writers to write about you, or would you have written a book yourself?
I wouldn't have written one about myself.
Okay. Would you have hunted people down who tried? Stabbed them in the night?
Oh boy.
Played your guitar until they died? No?
Song of rest. Song of unrest.
Song of permanent rest.
Yeah. Song of caskets.
I think if someone did want to, I would have humoured them, but it wouldn't be a truthful retelling.
Violently embellished.
Okay.
It would be very much what Beleric wants other people to know.
Yes, there is
in
a book
very
on
particular
Beleric.
light.
You can tell me what's in the book.
It's called How to Be Better Than
later.
Ivelios.
You can tell me what's in that book later. You grab the books.
Yep. Grab them, stow them, and then out the front door.
Okay, you go over to the front door. You open the front door.
And the alarm goes
I was going to say, do you want to do it stealthily again?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Quick stealth.
Should I even be asking him to roll stealth?
26.
Like a
An
genuine
invisible
question.
rogue.
Yeah, you slip through the door, you close it behind you, and just as you do that, you do see Janice exiting an outhouse by the wall, and Belleruk probably kind of like hanging around outside of it, waiting for him.
Yeah, I think Belleric's kind of maybe out of the front door, and he's taken like maybe 3 steps to the right, and he's just like leaning really coolly against the wall, just waiting.
Yeah, you notice the
Yeah.
front door open and close again very quickly.
Janus
Just-
didn't actually use the outhouse, he just destroyed it.
You destroyed it.
Look it up.
Just to annoy people.
All of the paper down there.
Jesus.
We're a whole group of idiots.
Don't you just love us?
Lovely, you completely smashed it. From the inside out, or is it like obvious just looking at it?
Inside out.
Okay. So it's not obvious from the outside, but yes, lovely. And are you heading to a wall? What are you doing? What's happening now?
Oh, just straight out, I reckon.
Yeah.
My spider opinion is we go straight out past the guards that didn't even know we were in here and scare the shit out of them.
Yes.
Well, is Evelios still? Evelios is still invisible, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got another 30 minutes of this shit, probably.
Yeah, about.
Oh boy. I would like to not be a spider, but I don't think Eric's gonna do that.
Not until we're out of here.
Yeah. He wouldn't see the point.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you drop it once you're over the wall because you
Yeah.
can get over. You can
Yeah.
be carried over the wall by someone else,
In which
I
case,
can climb
Evelios-
walls. I'm a spider. I totally would.
and you can. Yeah, true. But
Jane-
would you
Jane
climb it
is
in the right
weird.
direction, or would you climb
Yeah,
up?
I'd get to the
find a little
top and then
hole.
I'd stay there forever.
Yeah.
Aha!
Dark, so we've
So-
lost him outside.
There is no water spout here. I am safe.
So what do you do?
Evelios buttons the pocket. He gets out of the door, spots Belleruk, and just sort of like taps him very quickly on the chest sideways, poof, and goes, "We're out of here," and just
Do
wanders
that.
off.
Or you're on
And it's
a
gonna, it's gonna wander towards the gates and just wait there until Belleruk and Janus leave and just wander behind them.
Was very so tempted to go back over the wall so that if Farreach tries to tell anybody that I visited, he'll just be like gaslit into it. But no, I'll go for the main gates, and I'm gonna ask in the moment where they realised that they didn't let anyone in, but someone's coming out, and
Yeah.
I'll just be like, thanks fellas, I'm done here. See you later.
As you walk
I'm
out,
just gonna finger guns my way out.
they both like look at each other in a bit of confusion, and you hear like a huh? What? Why is he here?
Janus will also be walking behind Belleruk.
Yeah.
Clank, clank, clank.
There's a lot of confusion, but you exit the Far Reach estate. Yeah, you can hop on over the wall. The spiders can get over quite easily. And if you two are just walking out, then that's fine.
Yeah, I'm still in a pocket. I'm stuck in a pocket.
Yeah.
As soon as we're out of sight, I'm gonna let Ivar out the pocket so that he can revert to being
Yeah.
anxious.
As soon as you're outside, he will drop the polymorph, drop the wild shape. So you're back as Ivar.
You know, I don't quite like having double the amount of limbs.
Why ever would you say that? Okay, so what are you
So-
doing now?
That went well, I assume.
I think so.
Yes.
Just in the
Yes,
last
where
few
are you?
seconds of invisibility before it drops, Velos is just gonna walk up behind Belleruk and
I
just
know
sort of
that were coming.
step on the back of his heels just a couple of times as he's walking,
Just gonna.
and then wander off before invisibility drops so he can claim plausible deniability.
Did I try and talk out towards the Queen's Guard, the red?
Yeah. Go for
What's
it.
it called again?
The Red Guard.
God.
The Red Guard. I assume you're probably going to want to get a little bit of distance between us, just for the sake of it. But thank you for your help. It was much appreciated. I think we've got what we needed.
You are welcome. I will report to the Queen of this success. You headed there right away? What are you doing? I will need to tell her what the plan is. She'll want to know.
We'll
think we
probably
should
see
wait
Her
a
Majesty
while.
in the morning. Is that best, or
I think we should wait a while before going to the Black Cell, just in case.
that would
Deflect
arouse
suspicion.
suspicion? True, but is it something that we want to do before we leave the city completely?
I mean, we have to leave the city to get to the Black Cell.
Sorry,
So-
as in, is that where we want to go? That's the first place that we want to go after we leave the city.
It makes sense.
That was the
To-
intention of my Queen.
So we stay around for a day or so, 2. How long do we want to wait, really?
I mean, I have probably 3 days minimum for my crew if we're setting off via ship, but if we're in the Great Divide, then it's up to those of us who are more acquainted with council affairs.
Either you would know that
Or-
Rulem is a place you have to get to via ship, or walk through the Great Divide, which is obviously a very dangerous place.
Can I ask a
Incredibly dangerous
question?
currently.
You can ask a
I'll-
quick question before we take a break.
While these two are talking, when the Red Guard said that is the intention of my Queen, can I insight check that and see if
Sure.
he was as intense of that's what my Queen wanted as Far Reach was when he was saying go north? If that makes sense. Like, I want to know if
Okay.
they're deliberately pushing against each other or if it's a genuine.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I was hoping
Or
that
as
you'd
in,
say
like,
that.
it's what's best, or that's what I think's what's best.
Yeah, exactly. Um, that 16.
So they all speak in quite a monotone voice, and they don't really convey much emotion. Yeah, it wasn't said with such emotion. It was just a passing comment.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But yes, what are you telling him before he leaves? And then we'll take a quick break for 5 or so minutes.
Probably that, well, with Ivelios's ship, that possibly the plan would be to take the boat round to Rulem and make it seem as if we were going there to gather support for a push north from my father.
Yeah.
Seeing as instead of asking it from the capital, where most people dislike me greatly, including Beleric now,
You don't know this.
going to Rulem to petition my father to say, hey, so going north to punch a demon in the dick, wanna help? So we'll disguise it as that, or at least that's the announcement that we'll make
Okay.
in front of the council if that ends up happening.
Okay. The Red Guard will leave you with I will inform my Queen of this decision, and we will try and push that narrative.
Then from there, our journey onwards could be artfully disguised so that we may stop at the Black Cell without drawing too much attention to that fact.
To the north.
Agreed.
Right. Let's have a little quick break. We'll come back past. Can we have a break in 3 minutes? Does that work for people?
Quick
Yeah.
bio,
Come back at
Cup of tea.
past. Cup of tea.
cup of tea, and
Eric Lythe, having been abandoned in the forest as a baby, he survived by joining with the very essence of nature. He's been fighting in the war against humans every day for 120 years, even rumored to have slain 200,000 in 1 week. He is always working, ever watching, forever protecting.
My name is Beleric Morgamash, but you've probably heard of me. I'm a half-orc from the north, but I've been in Alarians for most of my adulthood. You'll know my tales, of course. Warbreaker and the Siren's Curse. Or if those are unfamiliar to you, Surely you can't have missed the King's public addresses, penned by yours truly. Be sure to keep an ear out for me, and you know where I am if you hear anything interesting. I'm certainly interested.
I am Ivar, formerly the commander of the Bastion's forces. Now, I seek a way to redeem the loss of the Great Wall, and to return my family to its honourable position once more. For money, influence or power, I will do whatever it takes and earn my name back.
Ivelios Oakenheel is a half-elven gentleman and sea dog who graduated the Imperial Academy as an alchemist in his younger days. And though he is most well known as the daring captain of the legendary privateer and sea demon hunter, The Inevitable Demise, the piratical alchemist, as he is known, is still rumoured to be the driving force behind some of Aleria's most recent alchemical innovations.
Janus Ricot, a human boy raised into nobility by his lesser-known knightly parents, forged into a soldier to fight against demonkind, a hero to the common folk as well as their protector, a paragon to fellow soldiers and bane to all demons, general of the 7th Army and archdemon's plight, Bellum's demise and the slayer of war, the Warbreaker.
Eric Lythe, having been abandoned in the forest as a baby, he survived by joining with the very essence of nature. He's been fighting in the war against demons every day for 120 years, even rumored to have slain 200,000 in 1 week. He is always working, ever watching, forever protecting.
My name is Beloric Morgamash, but you've probably heard of me. I'm a half-orc from the north, but I've been in Alarians for most of my adulthood. You'll know my tales, of course. Warbreaker and the Siren's Curse. Or if those are unfamiliar to you, surely you can't have missed the King's public addresses, penned by yours truly. Be sure to keep an ear out for me, and you know where I am if you hear anything interesting. I'm certainly interested.
I am Ivar, formerly the commander of the Bastion's forces. Now, I seek a way to redeem the loss of the Great Wall, and to return my family to its honourable position once more. For money, influence or power, I will do whatever it takes and earn my name back.
Ivelios Oakenheel is a half-elven gentleman and sea dog who graduated the Imperial Academy as an alchemist in his younger days. And though he is most well known as the daring captain of the legendary privateer and sea demon hunter, The Inevitable Demise, the piratical alchemist, as he is known, is still rumoured to be the driving force behind some of Aleria's most recent alchemical innovations.
Janus Ricot, a human boy raised into nobility by his lesser-known knightly parents, forged into a soldier to fight against demonkind, a hero to the common folk as well as their protector, a paragon to fellow soldiers and bane to all demons, general of the 7th Army and archdemon's plight, Bellum's demise and the slayer of war, the Warbreaker.
Eric Lythe, having been abandoned in the forest as a baby, he survived by joining with the very essence of nature. He's been fighting in the war against demons every day for 120.
Right, we're back off our break. So, you found the map. You know that the Black Cell is somewhere in Rulem. The Black Guard has gone away with the intention of letting the Queen know that you are going to Rulem to recruit aid. So, what do we do now? We're all stood in a little alleyway just by the wall of the Far Reach estate.
Smells like Janus's toilet.
I didn't go to the toilet.
Actually, if it's next to the Far Reach estate, would it smell that bad, or would it be nicely clean because it's near Far Reach?
No, it
It
would be
feels like
nicely clean. It's in the rich area. The rich area is all clean and smells nice.
Rose scented alleyway.
That's just me.
Shall we go and make best use out of our
stay at the Golden Swan.
It is rather luxurious, is it not?
It does take the piss, if that's what you mean, yes.
Oh, the fire
Oh,
pit.
they don't have funds to send people to the wall, but yeah, let's build a fucking hotel.
That nobody ever uses, obviously.
Aye.
And put a
Well.
hand on Ivar's shoulder and be like,
Yeah, no, I
Just-
know. I'm over it. Don't worry about it. I'm over it.
"Sight check."
He's not over it.
Don't even need to roll for that one.
Anyone?
So, I mean, we may as well be shown to be being gracious with Farreach's offer. I mean, I'm assuming it's only a matter of time before he finds out. Someone's been digging through his personal effects.
Yes.
Seriously, is that a new pen?
Beautiful.
If Elios is like fiddling with the cap of it and just like,
Where did you get that?
I picked it up in a marketplace. It was on an elegant piece of wood. When I found it, it was just I couldn't help myself.
And does
Right.
it go with a dressing gown as well?
You know, I think there might be one in my cupboard that will fit perfectly. Anyway, toward the end of Farreach discovering our little incursion, perhaps we might make haste and not be standing in an alleyway. I mean, I like alleyways as much as the next man, but, you know, we have rooms at the Golden Swan.
True, I do prefer hot taps to standing in alleyways, so...
Funny that.
It's already part of
it's
your vocabulary, huh? Yeah, so you walk back to the Golden Swan. It was about a 45-minute walk. You just made it take longer in about an hour last time. So you walk over there in about half an hour, and the waiter is still stood outside with his little with a little towel, just waiting in the specific spot that he's paid to wait in.
Did we get this guy's name, or did we just walk past him? I think I just walked past him.
He is one of many of the Red Guard, so he didn't give...
No.
No,
This
this
is
one's
this
the
is
Dragonborn,
butler.
I assume.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Dragonborn.
the
butler.
doorman! No, we
Yeah.
didn't ask him his name.
I'm going to, as we walk in, I'll be like, "Oh, it's good to see you again."
If you don't ask his name, he won't tell you his name.
Gonna
You say that and he doesn't
strongly-
say anything. He just opens the door for you.
Bellowick standing
The
there like,
social cues are really lacking, aren't they? What is your name, friend?
My name is Kevin.
To meet you, Kevin. I'm just gonna walk in.
Oh, come on!
He gives-
Etiquette!
He gives a
I'll
little
give him
bow.
a gold for holding the door open.
Oh, he pockets it and he thanks you. Thanks you very graciously.
Evelios gives him a
Not
pat on the
etiquette,
shoulder.
that's sucking up.
Come on, it's just how you do things around here.
As you
I
give
don't
him
like
the,
it as much as the next guy.
as you give him the gold, he compliments you. That landing before Ivar, that was very spectacular.
Yeah, of course. Walks in.
Sycophants everywhere.
Janus gives him 2 gold and just nods at him.
Your landing and armor. Your armor is impressive. Thank you.
Just nods at him.
Kevin.
Yes, and you walk into the lovely entranceway of the Golden Swan with the chandeliers and the small potted plants.
Evelios is staring up at the chandelier and like it looks like he's almost measuring it. Just to see how big it is just around. He's like, that really is magnificent.
No
Not gonna
swinging.
fit in your pocket.
Yes. And you head to the elevator. You go back up to your penthouse flat. And what are you doing for the rest of the evening? Are you sleeping? Are you taking a long rest? What's the plan?
I think I'm probably going to have a nap. Oh, actually, I'm going to check if the bath that I ran is still hot.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go back in the bath to soak and warm up and then go to bed. But
Ivar takes his robes off to reveal the fluffy white bathrobe.
it's
that he
still,
had
yeah,
on.
underneath his armor and his stuff. Yeah, it's still got the fluffy white robe. I will speak to Janus on the way up as we're going up in the lift, and I'll just say quietly to him,
Imagine how many swords this place would have afforded. Can you even begin to imagine the amount of equipment we could have had if this was spent on supplying the troops?
Janus kind of just like looks up slightly at the elevator and just scans it. And he then just lowers his head and just looks directly forward, not looking at either, and he just says, "Too many to count."
Big
Beleric and
sigh.
Ivelios are like skipping ahead, being like, "Oh, I wonder what's for breakfast."
Yay, shinies! And we're just like, too many men have died.
Not me though.
Yeah.
And Eric's
Actually-
like, where's the soil?
Oh yeah, he would have.
Yeah, Eric would have.
Oh, soil.
Eric would have stayed outside to sleep outside
Oh,
with
yeah.
Dodged
nature.
himself.
He just dug himself a hole in Far Reach's estate. He's like, I don't need to leave. There's mud here.
Sea mud.
Can you imagine the servant that finds him when he wakes up in the morning? It's just like, where did that large mushroom come from? Oh my,
They try and dig him out.
tiny old man. Okay,
All right then.
yeah. If we're back up in the suite, Velios is actually, where is Beleric at the minute when they get back up?
I'm probably heading to. No, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to try and muscle my way into your room this time, and just kind of stand in the doorway and like an awkward NPC.
you stand in the
Stand.
doorway, but if Velios is behind you and was like gonna go find you, and was like, oh, don't just stand there. Move one way or the other. Were you born in a barn?
No, you know what? I'm just gonna like squish myself against the door jamb and work out if you're going in or out first.
Just like sort of pushes past. Fine. Gets like 2 steps in the door and turns around immediately to face him again. What do you want?
I wanted. Are there candles in this room?
Yeah.
How it's being lit?
Actually, are there like electric wall lamps or something?
Yeah,
magical wall lamps?
it's magical. Yeah, there aren't any candles here.
Yeah, there's some
There
wall
are
lamps instead.
It's the ones with like
Switches
the.
for them.
It's
Or like,
it's
oh
the
yeah, it's
turning
dimmer
knobs.
switches. You said, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Wait, not even
walk in.
smelly candles.
Not yet.
The floor has a rune on it where every time you walk past it, it releases a nice smell.
Oh, it's the rune of Airwick. Oh, damn it.
If Elios is set to salt spray.
I'm gonna walk in, turn off all his lights, then walk out again.
You fucker. You guys are past.
Wow.
Oh.
Janus is going to go back over to the fire pit.
And it's still crackling.
News is like,
Flavor.
A room.
Yeah. As Beleric goes to leave the dark room, if Elios just sort of puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, first of all, you are a pain in the neck. Second of all,
You know it.
would you mind signing this? And he pulls out the golden purple pen and the copy of Beleric's book he stole from Far Reaches
Oh,
and sort of
boy.
proffers them both.
I'm absolutely gonna take it and be like, I knew you were a fan, but I didn't think you were this bad. And do a really flouncy signature, and then pocket the pen and give back the book.
If only he'd insight checked to know that he was going
Oh.
to sell that signed copy immediately.
You
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Doesn't bother me so long as the
Amazing.
signature's there.
Yeah. But Beleric says that was going to be my thing, is that Beleric says, I didn't know you were this much of a fan. He's like, do you have any idea how much more this thing will fetch? Sam?"
Update me when you find out.
It's a signed first edition.
Brings the book back and sort of hands out for a pen. It's like,
I've
Anyway.
turned around. I'm heading back to my room.
Lovely.
I can see that pen changing hands many times.
absolutely. Yeah, the copy of the book goes back in a pocket, and then Velios is gonna quickly whip out his alchemicals and depending on which rule set you use, Gage, I'd quite like to make a vial of acid using my alchemist supplies during
Yep.
a long rest.
We'll see. We'll talk about that between the session.
Cool. So do that if possible, or just fiddle with alchemicals and then sit back and start reading the black copy of Ivar's book.
Oh no! No!
Yes.
Not Ivar's little black book. Oh no!
No, no.
Oh.
Lurik's edition of Ivar's Little Black Book.
Yes, Hal,
Deepest,
you are.
darkest secret version.
Your homework for this week is a 30,000 word book on Ivar's backstory. Thank you very much.
He's going to be interviewing me all week. Just be like, so.
This is not my punishment.
I hop into like the call at some point, and there's just YouTube there. It's just like just so much lore flying back and forth.
Absolutely. All being made up on the spot, but being written down for forever.
Yep, that's solid now. Yeah, so Aphelios posts up, sort of shrugs off the waistcoat, folded up neatly at the base of the bed, and just starts reading.
Lovely. So, you all bed down for the night. How did it take you guys 15 minutes to go to bed? Come on. We need to work on this.
We're a nightmare.
Because I had a bath and then started yelling out for more mead at some point. I
being
would
a
also,
problem.
if possible,
No,
No.
it's not possible.
no, I wouldn't do it. No, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't actually do it here because this is far reach territory. So I think I'd keep the map hidden away
Mhm.
until we're out of outside. But I would like to pick up, or possibly even get magical butler man who keeps appearing with all this fun stuff.
Mhm.
For him to fetch me cartographer's tools.
Yes, if
I send him on an errand if I give him $.
Yes, if you give him the money, he will go and purchase anything.
Yeah. I think I will do that if I'm allowed.
I believe tools are 50 gold.
I think they vary. I will have a look at
15 gold for cartographer's tools.
I will give him 16 and he can keep the gold as a tip.
Lovely.
And I will take a set of cartographer's tools because I would like to at some point make sure that this like map is legit, to make sure that I get the distances right, to get like the approximation of that area right, and to see if there's any secret shenanigans that I might be missing with it being a magical map.
Okay. He'll go out and fetch you then, and you all have a lovely long rest. Which I will do that for Eric. So you have a long rest where you recover all of your spell slots, health, all of that good stuff. You wake up in the morning, nice and rested. This is, I was going to say probably, definitely the best night that you have ever had, ever, anywhere. Apart from maybe Janice, I'm not sure. The deck chairs are comfortable, but maybe not that comfortable. I don't know.
I feel like his time in the military would have prepared him.
Like,
Wherever he puts his feet up and his head down, is just like, this is the best.
yeah, I mean, on this balcony, like high up above the city with the crackling fire, I imagine it would have been a nice rest. Yes, you wake
In
up.
full plate armor.
The armor is my warmth.
That's literally like a log.
You all wake up, you go through your morning routine, you get some nice clothes on for the day, and you convene in the front room. The dirt and water covered sofa is no longer dirt and water covered. It has been swapped out and cleaned, and you can not even tell that it was ever dirty or sudden.
We were sleeping.
He moves from the deck chair to the. So that's it. That's all he does here.
So you reconvene in the front room, ready to kind of discuss what you're doing now. What's
Does
your
this
plan?
place have a spa?
It has a sauna room.
Interesting. We could spend the day here and, set off whenever we like, really.
Weren't we supposed to meet the queen?
No, that's fine. Ivar's like twice as fat now, by the way. He's just doubled in size somehow.
Just overnight.
So, I mean, you were told the council what you're going to do. You don't have to go back and see them again. No one said anything about that. You have no scheduled meetings coming up.
The Red Guard say that he was going to go back and tell the Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
He's
didn't
going
have
to
to.
inform the Queen. We don't have to meet her because that would be possibly someone might witness us doing that because,
Creepy.
everyone's been hanging around that throne room an awful lot since the king's disappeared. So I reckon we could just set off immediately.
I believe our original excuse was that we were interviewing council members. Also, my crew would like a little more time ashore. It's only been like a day and a half, and
Yeah.
we've just hauled in from a particularly taxing trial of bringing Janus and Eric over the mountains. It wasn't the easiest journey.
It's so nice of you to offer them some room here.
Oh, absolutely. Butler.
Prepare the bottommost rooms.
Yes, Master Revelius?
I don't suppose that the Queen's generosity extends to any guests of ours.
The
Our
Queen's
greatest
generosity was for last night. If you would like to stay longer, please do. Forgive my rudeness, but you would need to pay to stay here, or the Queen would need to inform us that you are staying here longer.
I see. In which case, Belor, did Master Farreach offer us tenure here? Was that something I heard somewhere?
I believe he did. Yes, he said that his was the phrasing that he used. His attributes are ours.
Indeed. Oh, his generosity knows no bounds.
Truly. Yes, I believe he just said to charge it to him when we will be through.
In which case, prepare the ground floor for a small selection of guests. About, and I name off the top of the head the exact number of crew I have.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, is probably like maybe
8.
50.
What were you about to say? 50?
Anywhere between 8 and 50. It depends how big my ship is.
How flamboyant you're feeling.
You have 8 like proper crew members, but you need 14 to sail, but some kind of duck off and between here and there, But you have 8
regular reprobates.
Yes.
So prepare the bottom suite for my 8 lieutenants.
Of course, sir. Of course.
Thank you. And I'm gonna quickly pen a message to my second in command, my first mate, and also steersman. There's a word for it.
Helmsman.
Helmsman. Thank you. Of the ship, and I'm just gonna wander out onto the balcony, and just while no one else is looking, just whisper into my hands, Jericho, and no one hopefully sees this. Don't know if anyone else is watching, but I spread my hands, and there is a gorgeous Eurasian owl with sort of dark brown plumage appears and grasps the message and flies off as I summon my familiar.
Ooh.
The familiar that you haven't told me about and we haven't made art for yet.
This is correct.
Thank you very much for that.
I believe I mentioned very briefly. There was maybe one line that, oh yes, I have a familiar. It's an owl, but that
maybe I can't remember. We all need to do that.
It was very minimal, but yeah, Jericho flies in the direction of my recruitment, so
Lovely.
to let everyone know.
So, are you just going to spend this day resting and waiting for the crew to be ready?
I mean,
Let's actually try and be semi-productive, and we can go harass some councilmen because I think that'd just be fun.
Yeah, to agree.
Just to genuinely twist their arms about. So, what have you heard? What's been going on? What are the rumors? Because I'm sure they've all got something where they're like, "Oh, I could say this," and I can ingratiate myself with with the Queen because they're on the business of the Queen and Far Reach and shit like that. So
Or they could just gain good favor from the legends or whatever.
yeah, whatever it is, I would like to definitely harass some fellow council members.
Absolutely.
Possibly watch Beleric bully a few of them. That'd be fun.
To say actually, I'll
Incredibly
turn to
entertaining.
Ivar. I'll kind of just absently picking out. I assume like there's breakfast. I'm just gonna
Yes, some breakfast would have definitely been
Luncheon.
prepared for you. Some, some pastries, some cereal, some toast. A full English sausages,
pastry
bacon.
is going everywhere. And I'll be like, so Ivar, do you have any friends on the council?
Don't think I have any friends off the council really either, so that's no.
Shocked and offended.
What we have
Get over yourself.
is tentative at best, my friend.
Friend,
Speak
there it
for
is.
yourself.
There are some that don't hate me, but they don't really
Something.
care to know me either. They understand that my position is tarnished, and they would like to keep their distance, but they also don't necessarily see why I'm in such a bad position.
What
So we're definitely not going to be working from any advantage here.
about your father?
Been a long
Don't
time
like
since he's
him?
seen the inside of the council chambers. He's been far too busy with back home.
Right.
Damn
Do
near
you know
ruined
if
himself.
any of the council members like any of us particularly, because you could go in on their behalf?
Well, many of them do still know my father, and they'd much rather be seeing him in there than me, which is half the reason half of them don't like me. They feel like I've usurped him and taken his place when I had no right to, although it was him who gave me the position.
Perhaps then we can use that to our advantage if you go asking questions saying that you're headed home, and clearly they know him better than you do. It might be at least a little more willing to talk with you.
Yeah. I think either way, whatever support we can rustle up from whoever we speak to today, if we mention my father's name and the fact that we are supposed to be heading north, well, that's probably the best bet that we've got.
Okay.
Do any councillors in particular spring to mind at all, Ivo?
Oh, I haven't learnt any of their names.
Ah, of course.
Thank you.
mostly just-
Thank you for that one.
It's mostly just, oi, you.
Fair.
For the diplomat.
They all know I don't want to be there. They don't want me there. It's a match made in heaven.
Very mutual.
Absolutely.
Very short-sighted. Need them.
I think I'll leave that to you. You're the wordsmith. I'm just the smith.
Smith.
During this, Janus just lets out quite a loud yawn.
Have some breakfast, my lad. That'll help with the sleep. And Evelios downs a massive cup of incredibly dark coffee with cream.
No,
How can it
I
be
don't
dark
think
coffee if you've got cream in it?
it's dark cream.
It's magical. Yeah, it's dark cream.
Ah, right. Yes.
It's chocolate milk.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever seen Janus eat anything. Does he even have a face under there?
Janus kind of just does like a side eye with his helmet. He's like,
So you
It
do
looks
have to
great.
eat. How do you eat?
The,
He puts it-
omni-
through under the helmet.
When no one's looking.
the indomitable warbreaker. Indomitable?
Indomitable.
Indomitable warbreaker. He doesn't need food to sustain him, just the blood of his enemies.
Indomitable, insufferable.
Insufferable.
Oh,
Adjectives.
Inescapable, perhaps, if we're talking about Beller.
We're not talking about chemical Vel. Calm down.
Anyway,
Ugh.
I do believe that's right about it. I think we will probably end up skipping through most of you interrogating counsellors, as I can't imagine
Please.
that would be quite fun for everyone. So
No, please do.
Fair enough.
I will prepare what the counsellors tell you for next week. And next week we will start off as you are about to set sail to Rulem. Now that you've found the location of it, you've got the map, you're going to head to the Black Cell. I assume you're going to head to Rulem on the way there?
Roland will be the first stop.
That's what
Probably
I thought.
stop in at my father, and I probably will approach him to see if he's got any advice for travelling back north, or if he's got any help. that he can offer
Finally.
us.
Something that I predicted might happen is going to happen. Lovely. This is incredible.
Means we're doing our jobs, guys.
So we'll trade some council information for an entire book about Ivar at the beginning of next session. If you don't
Signed
produce
copy.
Ivar book, then we get nothing from the council members.
Yes.
But yeah, I will be probably going to stop by, say hello to my father as we pass through his territory at the very least. and
Lovely. So,
kind of inform him what's going on.
yeah, next week we're starting at 6. We're going to go 6 till 9 instead, a bit of a longer session, which will be lovely.
Yes.
And next week we will have some combat, which will be fun. It was a very long start to that. I think everything up till now, the first 3 sessions have been the start. That's what I planned for the start, and it has taken a bit longer than I thought. But hey ho.
Credits are rolling now.
Kind of combine the first 2 sessions into like one big 4-hour session. And now
Yeah.
this session and then next session, that'll kind of be the big second session where the combat happens. So
Yeah, next session there will be some fighting and stuff. You'll get the fights. We'll get to see the abilities of all the characters, which will be great. But yes, that's
the
pretty much everything.
inability.
We'll get to see
Kill
what
the guy,
Janice can do.
really trying.
I show off my incredible natural ones.
Yes, we'll get to see what Janice can do,
Yeah.
which will be wonderful. But yeah, that's,
Finally, no more talking, just sword.
You death.
Janice is sated. He has no need of food now that we've had a combat.
Yeah,
Had a sleep. He's had some food. He's ready to go.
With a
Yeah.
nickname like Warbreaker, you can assume this is where he's going to excel.
Oh, I cannot wait.
you hope so. I did hear there was a guy that managed to beat you in single-handed combat, but yeah, that's just a rumor.
I killed him the first time.
We don't speak of his name.
No, you cannot acknowledge his existence, or everything goes wrong. Anyway, thanks to everyone who watched. If you want to play in any of my games, I run games on Start Playing Games. If you want any of my maps or tokens, it's on my Patreon, which is underneath. Anyone want to shout anything out before we finish?
I have started streaming. You can find me.
You're announcing it this week.
Yes, it's very sporadic at the moment, but yes, you can find me under my name, Apocalypsean. It's probably
yes.
somewhere.
I'll be popping a link in
the
starting
ether.
from next stream and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
we'll be able to find him.
Absolutely. I play games. I shout a lot. Yeah, that's about it.
Lovely. Make sure to join the Discord, and I think that's everything. Oh, didn't someone start an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Eric lies. Having been abandoned in the forest as a baby, he survived by joining with the very essence of nature. He's been fighting in the war against humans every day for 120 years, even rumored to have slain 200,000 in 1 week.